So my name is Vivian de Guzman. I'm a human MRI and the #1 money magnet activator in the business world and in people's personal lives. And I started hosting these free webinars and inviting special guests that are actually making changes in the world, because I know that they have so many unique gifts and talents. And I know that they can share so much with all of you. And at the same time, we know that the doTERRA essential oils, which we use a lot in our own lives to help us organically heal physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So combining those two elements, our unique gifts and talents and the doTERRA essential oils, have really made an impact in our lives. So we know that money is a very hot topic. It's like a sore subject for some people, but at the same time, some people would like to have a lot more of it. So I invited Lucy, whom I've known for probably a couple of years now. She's been a good friend of mine, very good soul, very caring and loving. She even opened her home to me in Arizona when I visited. So thank you for that, Lucy.
You're welcome.
So Lucy McMonagle transformed her poverty-stricken life that was filled with childhood tragedies and traumas into a life of abundance, wealth, and happiness. Lucy has manifested millions in her life while working part-time by mastering the art of abundance. She empowers women to live a spiritual, practical, and powerful life. Lucy uses doTERRA oils to create more money, more freedom, and more joy, while having a greater impact in reaching her heart's desire. So without further ado, I would like to welcome my good friend Lucy McMonagle, who would enlighten us tonight with money mindset mastery. So go ahead, Lucy.
Thank you, and I appreciate you introducing me, Vivian. I'm so grateful that you invited me to be on this webinar series, and I also wanted to thank everybody who is taking time out of their busy schedule so that I can help you learn a little bit more about money mindset mastery. Now, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see a PowerPoint so that you can actually get visuals, because there's a lot of individuals that like visuals. And if you have any questions or anything, if you click on participants and then you click on the bottom, you can always raise your hand to ask questions, or you can put questions in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. We will be taking a little questions at the end of the PowerPoint, so we'll also have time for that. So without further ado, with technology working, we'll cross our fingers. We will start with the sharing my screen. Now, I'm going to see if this will allow me to do a slideshow. Okay, can everybody see my screen all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. So I've never used a Zoom with PowerPoint before, so just bear with me if I have any mistakes. So I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight and what you're going to learn. Tonight you're going to learn how your mindset could potentially be holding you back from wellness and from financial prosperity. And if anybody has any background noise, could you please push the mute button, and it's on the right hand or on the left hand corner, so that we can have a nice clear signal at the recording. So I'm really going to teach you that our mindset can hold you back from potentially having wellness, and it can also hold you back from having financial prosperity. You can learn the top 3 tonight I'm going to teach you about the top 3 mindset blocks that most people face. You might have different blocks, and we'll discuss some of those different blocks as we go into the question and answers. And we're going to learn how I discovered using essential oils can actually help you with your mindset for both men and women, and then how to find out how to clear away your own money mindsets towards the end of the call. So how you actually feel about money directly affects if money flows into your life or out of your life. And when I say how you feel about money, what I'm talking about is how, when you see people with money, when you see people with outrageous amounts of money, let's say you see somebody driving a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce or one of those really fancy cars that you normally only see on TV, but you see them in your neighborhood. How you feel about other people having money is how you really feel about having money or not having money. And sometimes this truly creates blockages in our life that makes us not available to receive more money. So naturally, when we were first born, we always have a belief system that there's always going to be enough. We have a belief system that it's natural for our needs to be met. And we also have a belief system that
Yeah, I did. No, they can't.
What are naturally curious about our outside world. So when we're naturally curious about our outside world and we're starting to grow up, if your parents have a mindset that's different than your natural mindset, then you have to make a decision, even if you don't understand that when you're a child. So there's three major blocks that prevent individuals, and especially entrepreneurs, from breaking through these mindsets that they learned when they were very young. So one of them is they don't get the proper mindset training. And what I mean by that is when I was talking just a few seconds ago about what your parents believe about money is usually what you start believing as a reality about money. So if you grew up in a very poor situation like I did, one of the main things that I discovered was that money doesn't grow on trees, or money's the root of all evil. And I took a lot of those belief systems to heart. And it created severe poverty for me and my family and my life. When I was able to break through that belief system, then I was able to move forward. So thoughts that are created over and over again create a belief system. This is what is called your money story. And then we also have the mental monkey chatter, where your mind has lots and lots of racing thoughts. So these are the three major mindset blocking three major mindsets that block you from your prosperity, from your wellness, and from moving forward in your life. And if you keep hitting something over and over again, that's when you know that you're bumping up against a mindset that you might not quite be aware of what the name of it is. So lack of proper mindset training, usually from 0 to 5 is when we accept everything that we're told or we hear as the absolute truth, because we don't know anything different outside of that. And this also creates our first perceptions about lack or not lack. This is when you start learning about no, and you start learning about the word yes. So you start learning, yes, you can have this, no, you can't have that. And when you're growing up, you just don't understand why. This is if your care providers did not provide you proper grooming for success, because they didn't have proper grooming for their success, then this is how it gets into our minds, and it creates a disadvantage for you as a belief system. So your money story can make you or it can break you. My money story was absolutely breaking me. When I turned 18, I felt like I was turning 81. My body hurt all over. I was always angry. I was always frustrated. I always had very frustrating times. I had a lot of anger because I just didn't know how to manage my feelings, and I didn't have the proper mindset training. And one of my goals is to help you to let go of any negative beliefs that you have about money that can destroy your ability to acquire true wealth. And wealth is not just money. Wealth can be a wealth of friends, a wealth of family, wealth of good relationships. So it starts with money, but it extends out like a spider web into other areas. Now, one of the examples, as I mentioned earlier, is if you took to heart, money's the root of all evil, which is one of the things that I took to heart, you might actually be able to acquire money. You might actually be able to make a lot of money, but you spend it all. All of the money comes and all the money goes. And that's very frustrating, especially if one of your goals is to acquire true wealth because you have a mission in your heart that you want to accomplish. So with the lack of proper mindset training, you also develop what's called a monkey mind. And a monkey mind is that it has racing thoughts, you might have the inability to concentrate, you might always have to be doing several different things at one time. It creates low-grade stress on your body, on your immune system, and in your life. And as many studies have shown, stress leads to many diseases that we currently have in the United States. So when you have a monkey mind, you also have out-of-control worry sometimes about the future. Sometimes you're panicking about what could happen. And sometimes you have frustration and depression. So one of the things that I want to teach you is that how you can start gaining control of your life by gaining control of your mind. And I'm going to teach you how to focus in 30 seconds or less. And this is called my focused, balanced, centered exercise. So if you're driving, please do not do this exercise. Please wait until after you stop. But I'm going to ask you to stop what you're doing for just a few moments, and I'm going to teach you this exercise so that you can utilize it when you leave this webinar. So if you put your pointer finger with your thumbs and you put them together like you're making the OK sign. I always like to do this because then it brings out a lot more happiness in me, but you don't have to do anything silly. I normally put my hands down after I do this, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to hold them up. And then you take the tip of your tongue and you put it on the roof of your mouth. And you're going to feel on the top of that roof, there's a little mound that's behind your teeth that sinks downward. So you put that tip right on top of there, like that. I'm not sure if you can see it with the little picture. And then I just want you to close your eyes, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths in. So close your eyes and keep your hands in this position and your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And then take in another deep breath. Breathe out. One more breath. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for a second. Breathe out. And then now you're going to take another deep breath in, but this time you're going to breathe in focused, balanced, centered. You're going to hold it for a second, then you're going to breathe it out. You're going to breathe in focused, balanced, centered. Hold it for a second, then breathe out. And then one last time, breathe in focused, balanced, centered. Hold it for a second. Let go of your fingers, let go of the tip of your tongue, breathe it out. And then pay attention on how your mind is and how your body feels. Has anybody noticed that when you do this, all of a sudden your mind chatter starts to slow down or stop? So when you do this exercise, this will help you reduce the low-level stress that you're having. If you do it continuously, like 3, 4, 5 times a day, eventually, as soon as you put your fingers together, put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, your mind will stop. And then that is going to help you when you go into interviews. It'll help you when you go into business situations, if you're going to be calling a client. And it'll help you become more centered and balanced in your energy field so that you can have more confidence, feel less stressed, and be able to be more productive in your life. So that's just one small technique that's going to get you moving. Now, the next thing is we have to look at our money stories. Now that we've kind of handled the monkey mind, now how do we handle our money story? And the first thing we need to understand is a good money story compared to a bad money story. Now, a bad money story is something like money's the root of all evil. But if you look at it and you just look at it as energy, money is actually neutral, and it's how people use it that can be good or bad. Another bad money story would be wealth corrupts. But if you really transform that into a positive money story, you can look at wealth allows freedom. When we start looking at money like money means having to work more hours, having less time with family, then we start believing that there's not enough time, there's not enough money, there's not enough energy. So if you transform that into being able to leverage and manage your time, which means making more money, working less hours. And then another bad money story is if I have money, people will steal it from me, or if I have money, people will try to take it from me. You can always transform that money story to I can live in a safe area if I have more money. And if you combine this with the focus, balance, centered exercise, it makes changing your thought patterns easier. So why can some people have money and others don't, even if they make the same amount of income? And a poor money story is going to keep you stuck in circumstances that makes bad luck seem like it's your lot in life. I used to totally believe that I had bad luck. My mom used to tell me if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck at all. That's a good belief system to grow up with. But I really would like to tell you that you can change that. Poverty mindsets will have you purchasing lottery tickets, hoping that you're going to get the big one instead of planning for the future. Negative mindset will also prevent you from having a good flow of cash in, and you'd have more going out. So having a healthy money mindset will allow you to effectively utilize what you have, plus you'll always have enough. Yes, you might hit bumps up in the road as you're moving along with life, but you'll be able to respond with more ease and with more grace rather than reacting emotionally because you have a money story and a monkey mind and stress that's out of control. So learn what your money story is. And the way you can learn what your money story is, what one's holding you back, is to write down when you react to a money story. Write down, if I were to grab a whole bunch of money right now and start kissing it and hugging it and telling it I love it, how would you react? Would that make you feel upset? Would that trigger you? And when you can start pinpointing what your money story is, then you can choose whether or not you want to keep it. So when you think of people that shop at Tiffany's or shop at the New York Fifth Avenue stores, what is your first gut response? Back in my 20s, my gut response was, oh my gosh, those people are so fill in the blank. Now I look at it as like, wow, I have the option to go shop there or not. I have more power because I choose to have the options, and I want you to look at money as an option to choose things or not choose things. So when you see your boss spending money on all kinds of things that they never use, how does that make you feel? And then finally, in order to know what's really holding you back from the money that you see that you want, you need to know what your money story is. And awareness is the first key to changing what it is, because then you have a choice. So how do you rewrite your money story? So this is how you rewrite your money story. So look for ways that money makes you feel bad. Then each time you feel this way, take a deep breath and then blow that thought out of your mind, just like you're just blowing out that thought, like you don't want to keep it anymore. I like to imagine blowing it out and then turning into a dragon and having a fiery breath. I like to get very visual with my imagery. You can make it to water. You can choose however you want. Now, applying essential oils is really going to be coming in handy because essential oils not only works on the actual scent smell where you can smell it, it also works on the energetic level, and it can make you easily change your money story into a better one. So start writing in a journal all of the things you believe true to be true, all the things that you believe are true about money, and then decide if you want to keep that belief system, if it serves you or it doesn't serve you. And each one you want to get rid of, you cross them off. So some of the essential oils that I found that work the best for me has been frankincense. I like to use 2 drops of frankincense with 2 drops of cypress and 3 drops of lavender. And the reason why I use frankincense is because it helps you clear the mind, helps you get rid of that monkey mind. It helps drive away your negative thoughts. So if you're intentionally blowing out the negative thoughts, if you're intentionally wanting to get rid of negative thoughts, frankincense will help that. Plus, it helps remove fear because our minds do not like change, and then it fears change. And it helps reduce anxiety, eases tension. The cypress is used for unblocking and clearing the emotions that you might have attached to money. When you're creating a movement, it allows you to flow better. So cypress gives you flowing, and it helps you in releasing the old belief systems. And then finally, lavender creates calming thoughts. It helps release stress, and it allows for better communication. So you can speak what you desire more often. So what will you experience? So if you follow the instructions that I've given you, if you take some time to be mindful of your negative thoughts that you have around money, if you use the focus, balance, centered exercise 1 to 3 times a day, that's a minute and a half. And if you use essential oils daily, you can use them on your temples for your mind. You can use them on the back of your neck. I like putting them on my wrists or on my feet before I go to bed, and rubbing them from the heel to the toes. And then I like wearing cotton socks at night, unless it's really hot. In the summertime in Arizona, it's not cotton socks time. So then when you take these simple techniques, you're going to experience a higher sense of well-being. You'll have more clarity with less stress. You'll sense some more freedom and better communication, and you'll have some more confidence. Now, if you apply the oils for 21 days, this will give you the optimal effect because it usually takes us 21 days to change a habit or a behavior that's no longer serving us. I have a special link for doTERRA. You can go to my website at mydoterra.com/Lucy McMonagle, and you can join, save 20%, or you can get retail. It's completely up to you. My ID number is 3862491. Now, what is next? So now I've told you how to do the focus, balance, centered. We've talked about how you can start rewriting your negative mindset, and we've talked about how essential oils will be able to help you make this process go faster, easier, and better, so that you can have you can have the optimal ability to create your own future and become a master of your own money. And I have a very special offer this evening that I would like to introduce you to and invite you to. So I have what's called is the Money Mindset or Make Money Now Bootcamp. And it's a premier program. I usually get individuals into this bootcamp, and it's $497. Tonight and tomorrow, I'm offering this for only $197. And this is if you're really tired of making the same mistakes over and over again, if you keep bumping up that financial glass ceiling and you're not sure exactly what is holding you back. It's also going to help you if you're just fed up with your money issues, if you're in the constant state of poverty, recurring issues, no matter how hard you keep trying, you keep bumping up these issues things keep coming up constantly. So if stress is starting to cost you big time, which is your health, your wealth, and joy, and it seems like this is sucking the life out of you, I'm inviting you to join me for the self-study Make Money Now Bootcamp. And you can get this delivered directly to your inbox. All you have to do is to go to my link, bit.ly/money mindset mastery, and then make sure you use the coupon doTERRA, because otherwise that you'd have to pay full price. And now, is there anybody who has any questions that they would like to ask me in regards to what I just taught, or the Make Money Now Bootcamp, or how to get a hold of doTERRA oils?
Can you hear me, Lucy?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, I'm just a little confused. So you're saying that the frankincense, 2 drops of frankincense,
Mm-hmm.
2 drops of cypress, and 3 drops of lavender.
Yes.
They bring they're like the oils to bring money to you or attract money?
What they help you do is they help you change your mindset, because if you have a mindset that's blocking the money from coming to you, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're not going to be able to attract that money. It'll come and it'll go, and it'll have like you'll be like turning on a faucet and then turning it off and dripping it. So these essential oils are going to help you change your mindset and let go of the emotions that you have with the money. Does that make sense?
Yes, and these would all go like 2 drops on the bottom of the feet, 2 drops, like, or is it all mixed into one bottle where you just?
I like to mix the drops on my hand and then go like this. And
Can you do that again?
sorry. I put the drops in my hand, and then I mix it together.
All 7 of them? No.
All 7 of them, and then I put them on my feet. And then I put it on my temples and the back of my neck. And then that helps me with the mindset. That helps me when I'm doing my affirmations, when I want to change a negative thought. This really helps it go faster, with more ease and with more grace.
And this is in the morning or at night or both?
I do mine in the morning and then at night also. So I do it twice a day.
Are all our participants business owners or not? Everybody business owners? I'll just add on to what you mentioned, Lucy, because
Okay.
from my observation, I transitioned from an employee to a business owner to an entrepreneur, right? So the way I look at things now is, of course, completely different than when I was an employee, when I had a job and receiving a specific amount of money every single month. And I realized that for every time that we change, right? Every time we change jobs, you notice there's a bit of a stress in your body, right? And in your thinking, because you think change, it could be devastating, or you at least right now you're sure of what you're getting, and then suddenly you're not. As you transition, what would happen, because remember this, unless you're growing, you're actually shrinking, or you're going backwards. You're not growing at all. So in other words, you're dying. So as you keep on changing either jobs or roles in your life, the mindset has to change. So now as an entrepreneur, if you're not making, let's say, $1,000 an hour, technically, you shouldn't be doing things that like maybe your assistant should be doing. Things that are tedious. I'll give you an example. Writing an email, perhaps going to the bank because maybe you don't trust people that work for you to deposit the money, right? So those little things, you have to drive, you have to do certain things. It takes time away from you. So it's either you're making money or you're not. It's as simple as that. So as you transition to building your doTERRA business, it's interesting because you go, well, I'm not making money yet, so I can't leave this job. When you can be making more money meeting other people because you're able to actually connect with the other business owners that have a mindset that has already expanded. Does that make sense? So it's that fear that keeps people from moving. So I agree with you with the essential oils. There's always certain things that we use in order for us to expand our mindset. And then once you start believing in what you do, but it's not the action that brings you there. It's the mindset and the energy behind it that makes your action work.
Mhm.
So you're going to encounter some snafus, but you got to focus on your goal. You can't be blown by the wind because somebody rejected you or somebody said negative things about what you do. You got to keep on going because you're just focused on what the future looks like for you because you know it's going to change. And usually, I mean, if you can see the world now, right, it has changed significantly from 10 years or 50 years ago. So there's technically an expansion all the time. It's never a shrinking unless you decide to shrink and not go forward with the world. Does that make sense? I'm talking global now, but
Yeah.
I hope that helps you understand where Lucy and I are coming from.
That makes sense to me.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So if you are interested in the money mindset program, the Make Money Now Bootcamp, a lot of individuals have asked me, well, has this worked for me? And I have had great reviews from many of the individuals who've used it. Maureen said that she loves it. It's like I took all of the different things from Rob Proctor and Esther Hicks, which I guess they teach similar principles because prosperity has all the same principles, but I made it clear and concise so that it's easy to understand. And then how this can work, can you work directly with me? A lot of individuals want to work with me directly. They're not into a self-study program. So if you would like that, I'm offering a complimentary money movement session for any individuals that would be interested in talking to me directly, seeing how I can help you move your business forward, how I can help you with your life. And you can get a hold of me and schedule that at bit.ly/talktolucy.
Awesome.
So,
Thank you.
thank you so kindly. And I'm going
Oh, I
to,
love that. That is so cute. Oh, that is so cute.
yes, thank you for joining in Abundant Blessings. I'm sending out money blessings to all of you. And
Just
I'm going to
receive.
stop.
Everybody receive.
Yes, everybody receive as I send you money blessings.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I am open for any questions that you might have in regards to the oils, in regards to what I said, and of course you can ask Vivian any questions that she mentioned too.
Awesome. So whoever wants to ask a question, feel free to ask. No one? Come on, you guys. You have an opportunity to ask whatever question. So, like even on the exercise that she gave us, when you see somebody shop at Tiffany's, you see someone in a nice Ferrari, what was the first thing that came up for people? Just share.
Okay, I'll share because nobody else is. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, okay, I grew up on a wealthy street back east. So we used to see these cars all the time. So it just feels very comfortable to see these cars and to be around this kind of stuff. I mean, it just fits right into my blood. However, I always wondered in the back of my head till I connected with Vivian and a couple of other, things that I've done to clear this out, is to have in the back of my head, am I ever worthy of this? Will this ever happen to me? It has not happened to me yet. However, I can see it happening. So it's much clearer. But I definitely understand that mindset of thinking, am I worthy of this? So I was comfortable with it all, although wondered if I could ever achieve that. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. And that's one of the hidden saboteurs that a lot of us have is that, oh, that stuff is beautiful, it's fabulous, but it looks pretty on somebody else, or it's
No,
somebody
not
else
that it didn't
has.
look pretty on somebody else that I think. I felt very comfortable where I saw myself having it. and I was very comfortable in it. It's just that
Oh, okay.
how was I going to get that?
Mm.
It
Okay.
was the how. Like, how am I going to achieve that? How is that possible?
I understand that. And one of the exercises that I have is really masterminding for ways to acquire money. But you have to have a big enough why in order to do what it takes to create this money. So writing down why would you want to have that priority or that nice car or why, and when your why is bigger than the belief system, then it really makes it easier to crunch that belief system and to remove that energetically out of your system.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So one like logical answer for that I can think of is all of us, we went to school, but then that's general knowledge, right? So what happens is if you find something that really makes you feel alive, so you have a purpose, you have a joy, and then you actually do it. So that's one thing that, like a skill that you can master. So for example, for me, physical therapy was originally my skill, but then I got too bored. You know, like I know how to do it. I was excellent at it, but then I did it too fast that I get bored because it's the same back pain and ankle pain and neck pain, you know, like anything else. So then I went into cancer and into fibromyalgia, like too many things. And I said, I think there's something deeper than this. So then I went to the energy work, right? So you keep on practicing and practicing until you master the skill, until you're asleep and you can still do it, right? But then when you go into business, I have to master the skill of asking for the sale. Because again, all of the self-worth and self-value issues come up. Like I felt naked when I was doing that because physical therapists only get paid a certain amount. And then I have to like ask for more than that. But it's not that I was feeding, because the business is another avenue, right? It's another baby, so to speak, that I have to feed, right? Because I have to pay the rent and the staff and the papers and everything else that I pay for. So I have to learn that other skill, not just how to be a good energy healer, but how to actually figure out the numbers in order to be successful. So as you notice, as you keep on growing through life, you're going to have to learn different skills. And when you no longer want to learn, when you're no longer an avid student in life, that's when you stop growing. So skill, mastery, that's one. And being a kid all the time, like learning all these things, because if you have a belief that only kids are like sponges and then when we grow up, we can no longer pick up stuff, well, that's negative. Let's delete that.
Exactly.
Because if you can delete everything about yesterday, then you can create a brand new life today and you don't have to repeat your past. Because your past created your present, so your future is created by your present. So that's why it's so important to get rid of your negative mindset so that you can create a better future, because your present right now, if you don't like it, change it.
Yes.
It's just like that. Very, very simple. And we want to make it complicated. I want to tell you to get rid of your how, because how just makes your mind think too much. Just be simple and master what you know, and then offer it to the world. Find out what the world needs, give it to them, and then they'll give you money back. That's it. Find out what people really need, not what you can provide all the time. Because sometimes I can sell carts and wagons, but people want cars. So then they're not going to buy what I have, even if it's nice, right? You got to figure out what they want, what they need, and then you provide that product or service, then it's good to go. Right now, everybody wants holistic lifestyle. So the world is changing. So we have the perfect opportunity for that with the oils.
That's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So does anybody else have any other questions? Even if it's not about what we talked about this evening per se, is there something else that you would like to know about? Maybe you have a hunch or something. Anybody?
Oh, I'm going to add one more thing to what I was saying.
Okay.
When we transition from job to, right, as an employee to a business owner to an entrepreneur, sometimes our mindset and our thought patterns are stuck on the old stuff. So check yourself if you're stuck in your old mindset because it no longer applies to your new role or your new position. So I realized that when I was talking to another entrepreneur. What was important to you when you're an employee may no longer be important to you when you're a business owner. So
Say that again?
what's important to you as an employee may no longer be important to you as an entrepreneur.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You do have to change with it. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, if no one has any more questions, thank you so much. And thank you, Lucy, for tonight.
Thank you,
For
Vivian.
sharing your gifts and talents.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
On Monday, we have another free call at 6:30 p.m. and it's called Share Success with Essential Oils by Carla Rendon. She's one of our, what is she? I think she's an elite builder in doTERRA. And she would just tell you simple things on how you can empower every single person in your team. Okay? All right. Well, thank you so much. These calls, by the way, are every Monday. We have so many things lined up for you. We even have a Wushu master, which is a Qigong and a Tai Chi person using essential oils in his practice. And that'll be the end of the month, another Monday. So it's all good. And thank you, everyone, for your participation. You can email Lucy through her website, right? They can talk to you. Please take avail of that free consult. Thank you for offering that. You're so generous and kind. And everybody, good night. Have a great evening and enjoy your money mindset oils. If you were invited by somebody aside from us, go back to that person because I'm sure they know essential oils and your needs more than we can provide at this time. So if we invited you, go to that person who invited you to this call. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.